Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 73 of Total Retail Talks. In today's episode, Total Retail's editor-in-chief Melissa Campanelli sits down with Dominique Essig, Chief Experience Officer at Bonobos. Listen in as they discuss mobile clienteling and retail trends for 2017. And now, on to the show.
Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Campanelli here with Total Retail, and I'm at the NRF show in New York City, and I'm so excited because I'm here with Dominique Essig, who's the Chief Experience Officer of vertical menswear brand Bonobos. So thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. So let's get started a little bit. Let's get started by talking a bit about you. So what's your background, and tell me about your journey to Bonobos.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We're both here early this morning.
Yeah.
So. My journey and my background is deep in product management, and I've really only done e-commerce companies my entire career. So started at a small e-commerce company called jobs.com, which quickly went under in the bubble bust of 2001. Moved to Travelocity, where I was there for 12 years for a pretty extensive time, focused on everything from flights to hotels, dynamic packaging, global projects as well. Then from Travelocity, moved to Gilt, all kind of in the realm of still product, user experience, and design. And then have been now at Bonobos for a little over a year, and in that function I have a couple of different teams that are all focused on experience, whether that could be external experiences for our customers or internal for our teams and the systems and technologies that we use.
That's so interesting. That actually dovetails with my next question, which is, can you kind of discuss your title, Chief Experience Officer? It's so interesting. Yeah. I feel like I've been hearing a lot of interesting titles at the show here.
And I think that one's starting to become more popular.
Yeah.
So my job is really focused on, as I said, experience. Externally, that's for our customers who are buying and purchasing with us. And so it's the digital experiences. It's obviously what you see on a desktop, what you see on mobile, work we're doing within mobile apps. And then internally, that's the technologies that we leverage. So I'm responsible from everything from payment processors to PCI to security to ERPs, checkout, et cetera. So those are my kind of competencies. And then I have our technical team, so engineering, data science, IT. And then I have product management and user experience teams, UX design. I also have our customer service team, which are our ninjas, which are a fantastic name, and then insights and analytics. So while those are all different teams, they're still very focused on thinking about the consumer, slightly different ways to kind of impact the consumer experience, but they're really focused on how do we drive a great experience, what is our data telling us, either qualitative or quantitatively, and what should we build for our customers, for our guy.
Yeah, I mean, to me it means a lot for Bonobos that they are putting that kind of a title in the C-suite. So I think that's a great thing.
Yes, it's been a great ride.
Yeah. So let's talk. I know that at the show here you're going to be talking about mobile clienteling for store associates. So actually, before I ask you how you're doing that at Bonobos, can you just tell the listeners a little bit about what that means, mobile clienteling for store associates? Some people get tripped up with the word clienteling, I think. So.
Yeah, sure. So Bonobos is, as you said, a vertical menswear brand. It was started digitally, so born on the web, to create a better fitting men's pants and a new way to shop for men. And then in 2011, we continued that evolution and started this concept of a guide shop. So a guide shop is an inventory-less showroom. So we have physical stores, we have product in our stores, we carry every size and every color, but not every size in every color. So you can imagine we have kind of a smaller footprint. We don't have like a back stock room. When customers come in, half the time they make an appointment, half the time they just walk in. They work with a guide. It's kind of a one-to-one service. They can actually place the order in the store, but that is then done electronically, and we ship the product within 2 to 5 days, kind of anywhere in the country. So we had to think a lot about how do we make sure that our guides are successful, because really the primary goal is for them to focus on service. They focus a lot on fit, styling, kind of driving an orientation to the brand. So the customer comes in, we needed to make sure that we had a tool that really allows the guides to handle everything from the moment the customer walks in, from appointment booking to all the way in post-purchase and exchanges and returns. So we rolled out a point of sale, which is a kind of mobile point of sale in the sense that it's on an iPad. The guide walks around and engages with the consumer. And we did that, we piloted it in January for 4 stores, and then we rolled it out in April of all stores. And there are a ton of things that kind of comes with. But what it's been really useful is allowing the customer and the guide not to focus on the transaction. So they kind of stop focusing on like, okay, well, can you complete that order? And more on the relationship.
That's so interesting. So it sort of like psychologically takes you away from that waiting online at
Correct.
the cashier. Are there cashiers there?
No. So we don't physically take cash.
Right.
It's all electronically done.
Right.
So yeah, you place the order and then it shows up in a couple days. And then I think one of the biggest advantages for us in the point of sale is that it all goes back to the single user account. So when you walk in, who you are in the guide shop is also who you are online. And so that really does prevent, I think, a lot of this kind of, I think what a lot of customers or vendors are seeing on omnichannel challenges about how do you connect the consumer. For us, it's really one account, one profile. So it allows us to understand how you interact with us, whether that's digitally or in brick and mortar.
Wow, that's great. That's perfect. How many stores do you guys have at this point? That I forgot to ask.
Yeah, so we have 30 stores around the country.
And are they, okay, I was going to say, are they international, but they're basically in the U.S.?
Yep, all of our stores in the U.S. right now. We do ship in limited fashion, but internationally. And then we'll have 31 in February. We're opening a store in Detroit. And then
that's exciting.
We have a pretty healthy plan for this year, too, as well, to continue that.
Cool, great. So we talked a little bit about mobile clienteling. I guess that is kind of a trend here at the show. But is there any other trends that you're tracking for Bonobos this year? I don't know if you saw anything at the show here or perhaps just in general that you are thinking about doing.
I think there's a lot of things. I mean, I think I still think about the store model and how do we continue to make that innovative and even less of a hassle, right? There are a lot of guys who are incredibly comfortable walking in and interacting with the guide, and then there's a lot of guys who don't prefer that. So I still think about where does the friction lie in that experience and how do we continue to make that exciting? The Amazon Go is doing some really interesting stuff. I'm watching that really closely, only in the sense that they've removed the friction, and I think it's so important to focus on. There's obviously been a ton of conversation this year about chatbots and that experience, and I think it's been a lot of talk still. I still haven't seen tremendous use cases, and hasn't quite felt right for us at this time. And I think there's been some interesting stuff, obviously, about sizing and fit. When you think about retail in particular, how do you get size and fit perfect, right? Particularly when you're interacting with somebody digitally. So I think there's still a lot of evolution that has to happen there. So closely watching all of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of size and fit vendors up here in this innovation lab, which have been kind of interesting. I was looking at those as well. So that sounds great. And then just finally, we've been asking everyone this at the show. Can you just think of one word to describe your feelings about the upcoming year for retail?
I think exciting.
Yeah.
There's absolutely been, I think, headwinds and challenges in 2016. There's obviously been a tremendous amount of kind of cultural changes, right, within our government and just socially. But I want to choose to look that something is going to be positive and that we can try and make a difference at Bonobos with our guys. So I'm excited about it. For me, 2016 was a year at Bonobos of rebuilding, whether it was new vendors, new teams. And so I feel like we're fully, all in the same boat, well positioned to kind of move forward. So I'm excited about the year.
That's great. Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of great words. Excited. Some of the words we heard were scared.
Yeah, I'm definitely scared, but yeah.
And I don't know, customer.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear what everyone's sort of overview of the industry is. So, well, that's about it. I just want to thank Dominique so much for being here.
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
it, and it was great to talk to you.
Yeah, thank
Have
you.
a great rest of the show.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this episode, check out our podcast channel page for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes and Stitcher, but please subscribe to our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, don't forget to connect with us on social, on Twitter @MyTotalRetail, and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.